Hello everyone, welcome back to the Coffee House. Today we're going to be doing a different video that is not Godzilla related, but Marvel Tokon related. If you've been a fan of the channel for some time or have been keeping up with my content, you'll actually know I did a Marvel Tokon video 7 months ago, guessing which characters would be on the starting Marvel Tokon roster, how big the roster would be, and an inclusion of any DLC characters. And upon looking back at that list, the only 2 characters I've gotten correct so far are Magic and Wolverine. I predicted that Magic would be a DLC character and Wolverine would be a starting roster character. I also think I guessed that there would be 24 characters on that starting roster and some astronomical number like 20 DLC characters or something like that. But since then, we've gotten a confirmation that the starting roster is going to be a list of 20 characters with 4 DLC characters and 1 stage. In addition to that, we've also gotten a release date of August 6th of 2026. So, per all of that information, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit that list, making the amends that I need to make and trying to guess the final 9 characters on the roster. So let's go ahead and begin. I broke down this list into makeshift teams, trying to put every character that I wanted or thought will be in the final 9 in some sort of list or team that makes sense for that character. Some characters in the comic books double as team members for others. For example, Kamala Khan could be an Avenger, but she can also be part of the Champions. Same thing with like Nova, can be a part of the Guardians / Space Heroes in addition to the Champions as well. So in light of that, I chose 9 characters that I think will be perfect fits for this roster, in addition to making up the last few characters needed for some of these teams. So let's go ahead and get into it. At number 12, the first character that I think is going to be a shoo-in is Thor. Thor, I think, is the easiest layup for this roster, not only because we've already seen him in many trailers being a part of that statue with Iron Man and Captain America, but I also think he will be a great well-rounder for the Avengers team. So far we have Captain America, Iron Man, and Ms. Marvel if you're counting her as an Avenger, and I think Thor will round out that Avengers team in addition to being part of the starting roster. Number 2, Nova. For Nova, I'm not going with the traditional Nova, but the Nova that was a part of the Champions. I definitely think that because we have Kamala Khan, there is going to be some sort of Champions-esque team, and I think Nova is going to be a big part of that. In addition to that, Nova, like Kamala Khan, is another character that I think can double as a double team member with the Guardians / Space Heroes team, as I have it listed here. So I think Nova is definitely a shoo-in, would be a great space representation, and would be a great overall character for this game. Number 3, Miles Morales. Miles Morales, much like Nova, is another character that can double up on teams. I think that Miles Morales is a perfect fit for a Champions team, with having 3 of those heroes now being Ms. Marvel, Nova, and Miles Morales. But I think Miles Morales can also double as part of a Spider People team. Not just that, but I feel like he's different enough from Spider-Man, in addition to using his invisibility and electricity, that there's so many different moves that you can pull off and different combos that you could potentially have that are way different from Spider-Man's. So I think Miles Morales makes it. Number 4, Blade. I think Blade is a character that used to be slept on so hard, but recently with the rise of Marvel Rivals and just Marvel in general as a whole as of late, is seeing a uptick in popularity. I think Blade has been underrepresented for some time now and definitely could use a huge popularity boost by being in this game. Not just that, but I think Blade would be a great shoo-in for a Midnight Suns-esque team. I have Ghost Rider as being a part of that team as well. Despite it being Robbie Reyes, I still think that the representation fits, and I think Blade would be a great fit along with Ghost Rider for a Midnight Suns representation. Number 5, Man-Thing. Man-Thing is probably the farthest away character that I think we could potentially have on this roster. The reason I say that is because Man-Thing is not a well-known character. He's not a very popular character at all, but he's a weird character. And I think if Danger is going to be in this game, then Arc System Works has made it no secret that they're willing to put some of the weirder characters in here. I mean, it's literally the Danger Room. So with that being said, I think Man-Thing would be a great fit for this starting roster as being another weird character and being the third character in my Midnight Suns team. Number 6, Rocket and Groot. Rocket and Groot are probably some of the most popular Guardians characters, if not the most popular Guardians characters this side of Star-Lord. I think they're a shoo-in to be a Guardian or a part of the Guardians team, in addition to being a part of those Space Heroes representation along with Nova and Star-Lord. I don't know how you're going to have Star-Lord and not have Groot and Rocket. Groot and Rocket are some of the most popular Marvel characters as of today. So I think that you include them. I think they're going to be a shoo-in, and I think they'd make a great fighting pair because they'd be one character, kind of like a Ferritor, if my Mortal Kombat X people are out there, esque character. Having both of them have potential, moves that would help within combo strings along with your team. Number 7, Venom. Look, man, Venom is going to be my third person in my Spider People team. In addition to that, I don't know how you don't have Venom in your roster. He's not only one of Marvel's most popular anti-hero characters as of today, but he's just a very popular character in general. Not just that, he's also very popular in Marvel's Secret Invasion. He's also super popular in Marvel Rivals. So I feel like Venom is such a fantastic, well-known, popular character that can also stand apart from Spider-Man and Miles while using the symbiote for his moveset. And not just that, but the costumes would go absolutely insane with this character. So yeah, I think Venom makes it. Number 8, Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel is going to be another shoo-in. Not just that, but she's also a character that doubles as part of the Avengers team if you want to stick her there, or as a part of the Guardians/Space Heroes team. Just like Venom and Rocket and Groot, I feel like Captain Marvel has seen a real rise in popularity these past few years, and I feel like she's definitely a shoo-in for this, especially since you have Kamala Khan in the game. It's a tag fighter. Of course, that would be a perfect match made in heaven for both of them to be in the game. So I definitely think that Captain Marvel makes the starting roster. And finally, number 9, I have Annihilus. Look, hear me out. I wanted to put a villain here that was a major villain in the Marvel Universe, but not someone who is on par with a Doctor Doom. I feel like if you have Doctor Doom in your game, he's going to be the main centric overall villain of the game. And having another villain either that's on his caliber or someone who's just as popular would sort of take his shine away. Someone akin to like a Thanos, for example. So I went along with the, lesser known villain, but still a very powerful one. And I ended up falling on Annihilus. I originally wanted to put Mephisto here, but since we're kind of having what looks to be like a space faring invasion adventure type thing, I feel like Annihilus would be a perfect fit for this game. Not just that, but he's also a weird character. He's another space character. So I feel like his fit is perfect. Now, as we move on to the 4 DLC characters, I really thought long and hard about this. Not only because I wanted to pick 4 characters that I felt were underrepresented, but I also wanted to pick characters that were super popular that would sell as DLC characters, in addition to characters that would round out some of the teams that I have listed. So since we only have 4 announced right now, let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1, Nightcrawler. Look, Nightcrawler was someone who was in my last video as a character that I wanted to be in the starting roster. In addition to that, he's a super popular character that I feel like a lot of people want to play as. And a lot of us felt a little disappointed when he was just relegated to a main, NPC essentially in the back of the X-Mansion stage. Despite that, though, I feel as a DLC character, he would sell ridiculously well, in addition to being a 5th member to round out our X-Men team. So Nightcrawler is my first pick for DLC. Number 2, Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a lesser known character, or at least has been for the past few years. I feel like Moon Knight has gotten a lot of representation recently with the Moon Knight show on Disney+, in addition to his gameplay in Marvel Rivals. Furthermore, he would also be the 4th character to round out our Midnight Suns team with Ghost Rider, Blade, and Man-Thing. I feel like Moon Knight is a great character to put in this game. There's so many different things you could do with his character and from a gameplay perspective. So Moon Knight is my second DLC pick. Number 3, the Hulk. I don't know how you have a fighting game without having the Hulk. We are going by this list so far for the Avengers team, we have Captain America, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, if you want to put her there, Thor, and Captain Marvel. So putting the Hulk here would give us another Avenger. However, if you just want to stick with the core 3 Avengers, you would be adding the Hulk right to that mix. He's such a popular character. He would be one of our big brute characters that I haven't seen so far from any gameplay yet. And I feel like he would be a perfect shoe-in with the color palette and the way that this game plays. So the Hulk is my 3rd DLC character. And number 4, many of you probably saw this coming, but it's Deadpool. Look, Deadpool, whether you like it or not, is in everything Marvel related. He is probably their most popular character this side of Spider-Man. I don't know how you don't have him in this game, because as a DLC character, he's an instant sell. As soon as you put his face up there and say the Deadpool's DLC, you bet your bottom dollar that he is going to sell like hotcakes. He just sells. Not just that, but he would also be another fantastic addition to the X-Men, in addition to having some gameplay that's a bit different and more versatile than all of the other characters, aside from maybe Danger and Magic. He would have the use of guns in addition to the use of swords. If you wanted to, you can include his teleportation, those sorts of things. So I feel like Deadpool is a fantastic character to round out this last list of DLC, and one that would sell very, very well. Last but not least, I want to guess the stage that is coming along with the 4 DLC characters. So far, we haven't seen that many stages. I believe the only ones that we have seen are like New York and the X Mansion with the Sentinels and everything in the back. But there are many transitions within each of those stages that take you to different areas of that stage. I don't know how else to put it. So with that being said, I actually have 2 guesses here that I think could be fantastic areas for a stage and have lots of transitional places that you can go within that arena. One that's a little bit more cooler than the others. My first guess is Latveria. The reason I have Latveria is an obvious one. Doom is the main villain, so of course Latveria could serve as like a final stage or something of the sort. I think it would be really cool to see Doom's castle in the background, or like a throne room, in addition to being tossed around different areas. Maybe in the different areas you get tossed around in, there's like a war happening in the background or something of the sort. I just think it would be a super cool stage to have, and not one that we've seen a whole lot of in past media. My second guess, and this is the one that I kind of hope is in the game more so, is the Collector's stage. I think the Collector's collection would be a fantastic stage. Not only would you start off with the main collection with a ton of Easter eggs in the background, but as you get tossed around the stage, you just get transitioned into other areas that have more items that serve as Easter eggs. I think it would also be great to have some of the Guardians here to explain why they're not in the game or a part of, the events that are currently happening. And it would also be great to just have representation for the Guardians or the space heroes within the roster. I think it's a perfect fit, especially if you're going to have Annihilus. It would be a great place to introduce him. I don't know how, but you could. And I just think it's a super cool idea to have be in this game. But with that being said, guys, that's all I have for today. Just a quick video about who I think the last 9 DLC characters are, last 9 starting roster characters are, in addition to the last 4 DLC characters and the stage. But if you like this video, drop a like, drop a follow, and let me know below who you want to be in the starting roster. Who do you want to be in the last 9? Who do you think the 4 DLC is going to be? Put all your thoughts and comments below. I look forward to hearing you guys. I always respond to everything. With that being said, I'm closing up the shop, so thank you for joining me, and have a great day. And always remember, take life one cup at a time. I'll see you guys later.